Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on whoever is watching my program from whichever part of the world. I am Chaudhry Abdullah Quaseed. I'm an organizational development, HR, and organizational performance management consultant and a corporate trainer and coach. And usually I speak and make videos on different subjects related with business and career, but I name those as Quaseed's Talks on whatever the subject is, and I also make videos on different subjects, whatever I experience in life and whatever I observe and whatever I'm thinking about that. And those videos I call them as video blogs, or Quaseed's Vlogs with a V. So this is a video blog or a vlog in which I would like to reach out to everyone in the countries of India and Pakistan, and especially to all my friends in India and Pakistan. And yes, we definitely need to maintain peace in this region. Of course, there are various reasons why we may not, one country may not like another country, one country may have a lot of grievances against another country, one country may feel that the other country is offending the values or the beliefs or whatever of the other country. But at the same time, we just need to know that we need to have the emotional intelligence to sit and discuss and resolve those issues without getting into warfare and aggression. Please, 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 please do try and influence your leaders, your national leaders, your politicians, to understand that if there is a war, it is going to create absolute mayhem and disaster, not only for each of your countries, but also for the entire region, and it will have terrible effects across the world. And even we as Bangladesh, being in the region, are going to get very badly affected if the two giants, India and Pakistan, start fighting with one another in our neighborhood. And we need to be very careful about one thing, that whenever there are two countries that go into war, there are a lot of other giant countries who are nearby, who do take the advantage and who do take that opportunity to sometimes penetrate, sometimes get in and take some other advantages out of that country. So we cannot allow ourselves to become vulnerable to a situation like that. So we need to be all very careful, and we need to understand that in spite of all the self-confidence that Indians may have and the Pakistanis may have, and all the taunts that are being exchanged in between the two countries, you need to know that it is definitely never going to be possible for any of the countries to get a clear victory over the other country. And whenever there is going to be a clash, whenever there is going to be a warfare in between two big countries who are both powerful, aggressive, and upon creating havoc for the other, there will always be an enormous amount of bloodshed of innocent civilians, and at the same time there will be a lot of bloodshed among the people who are in the armed forces. I really feel very sorry for the people in the armed forces, because they have to give up their lives for decisions made by politicians who are often making decisions which are not really for the best interest of the country, but which are decisions that actually serve their own, sometimes very selfish purposes. And a lot of the times the decision to go to war is to uphold ego. We need to understand that the value of life is a lot more than ego and self-satisfaction or self-gratification. Therefore, we definitely need to understand that we have to maintain peace in this region. We cannot allow ourselves to be misled by politicians who are trying to create unnecessary mayhem in this entire geographical part of the world. We definitely need to focus on how we can maintain peace, how we can maintain harmony, how we can start to improve relations. We need to look at, this was one region where every country was fighting against one another, and I'm not just talking about the two world wars. There are hundreds of years of history of the French fighting the British, the Germans fighting people, all the other countries, the Norwegians, the Vikings coming and invading countries further south in Europe. So this was a region that was embroiled in war and turmoil for hundreds of years, at least for the last 1,000 years. However, over the last 50, 60 years, this is the part of the the world that has amalgamated, they have united, and they are moving together as one. They have created that entity, the EU, while they have still maintained their separate identities as well. And they are moving forward. Therefore, if India or any country thinks that they can take over the other countries in the neighborhood and amalgamate them and create one big country, that is also not the right approach. We can all maintain our separate independent identities, and we can still learn to work together. And that is exactly what we need to do. We need to follow examples of countries who are doing that, and we need to try and implement those ideas and philosophies in our part of the world. Having said so, I would just like to request all my friends in India and Pakistan we should all try to unify our efforts in maintaining peace in this region. And this is just my earnest appeal to all my friends in India and Pakistan. Kindly, do not be misled by politicians and political interests. Let's try and maintain peace, because peace is what will take us forward. Peace will save millions of lives. Peace will save billions and trillions of dollars. Peace will save your business. Peace will save your economy. And you must understand that we are now living in a very delicate situation, a very delicate environment in this world. And the moment there is going to be war, or even the semblance of war, that delicate balance is going to be so badly disrupted. You cannot be sitting and continuing your life as it is while the two countries are at war, simply at the frontier, because wars do not remain in the frontiers anymore. Wars do encroach into the lives of general people, far into the center of the nation. Wars are no longer just border conflicts anymore as they used to be once upon a time. Therefore, let us not antagonize one another. Let us not go for war. Let us not try and talk about who is going to win if there is going to be a war, because there is not going to be a single winner. Even the big superpowers are attacking other countries at times, and none of them are emerging as the clear victor. So therefore, if one enormous power is not being able to claim complete and decisive victory over another relatively much smaller country, how is it that we can expect two countries with comparable strength? How can we expect that any one country is going to emerge a clear victor? If there is going to be a terrible, terrible conflict that will start, it's not going to end in just a couple of weeks and months. This could actually drag out for several months, even years. And we cannot afford that. We cannot afford that. We cannot have our own lives, a big portion of that, get wasted because some political leaders were not able to see eye to eye. All right? So let's all work our best to try and maintain peace in this region. Thank you.